and it's that kind of a day where Arsenal has been knocked out and we are out of the Europa League. And I'm kind of right now don't give a damn about the season because it's over. More or less, it's done for us, and everyone is probably talking about it. But quickly, a few things, including the stats. But the stats don't even show the entire, you can say, the entire story of the game. But let me show you a few things about it. And okay, let's look at it now. From what we can see is here, the game started off. This was the lineup: Leno, Bellerin, Holding, Pablo Mari. Granit Xhaka was supposed to be there, but Quarantini started instead of him when he got injured, and eventually, it is further. It was seen that Thomas Partey was the lone midfielder who was playing 4-1-4-1 according to Google, but it was kind of dynamic again. Saka was there, Odegaard, Emil Smith Rowe, Nicolas Pepe, and Aubameyang up top. Good evening, John. And so this was what started off. And this is how the team lineup for Villarreal: Paco Alcacer up front, Moreno along with Moreno, Tigres, Coquelin, Perejo, Chikuzi, who got injured, Alfonso, Torres, Albiol, Mario, and Rulli. This goalkeeper was crap. But at the end of the day, let's look at the stats, which will again not justify the result. 14 shots, 8. This is 2 where we hit the post thrice and we had some easy chances to score. It should have been 6 or 7 shots on target, but anyways, that is how the game is. The ones on the post, the 3 shots that hit the post don't count as well. Villarreal had 3, which were like simple catches for Leno, but it shows 3 here, 2 there, 8 here, 14 here, which is the actual story of the game: 14 and 8. 56% possession, 44%, 491 passes, 406, 85% accuracy pass, and 78. 13 fouls versus 6, where we were trying to close down and we were trying to press them. They didn't try any such thing. 1 yellow card each, no red cards, 1 offside each, 8 corners and 5 corners respectively. But again, our corners are not as effective as some of the other teams, so unfortunately that is the case yet again. Overall story, we started off the game a bit quick paced, and then we eventually dropped our pace and let Villarreal control the game, in the sense that they were just trying to defend. They parked the bus and they were behind the ball the whole time. They did not try to attack mainly unless on counters, which were very few and limited. As I said, there were no real shots coming in from Villarreal as well. The game ended in a goalless draw, which was good enough for Villarreal to go through to the final. Overall, tactically, in the game, as I said, Granit Xhaka got injured, which was a loss for us because we needed some leaders on the pitch, and none of these players were good enough to step up as leaders. I think the only realistic leader that we had in this game, to an extent, was probably Thomas Partey, who was trying to control the game, and that didn't work out either. He was loaded with a lot more work to do, and hold on, he was overloaded with the work to do, and he could not cope up with the overload of work that he had for himself. And then eventually there was no major mistake made by any player, but the only thing that they failed to do is convert the chances which they should have been converting. And at this moment of time, I am not really pleased with the result, but there could have been so many chances where we could have just finished. We could have finished off the chances, but unfortunately, it's not happened. And that is that. And eventually, we could have tried to do more, but we did not, and we were unable to. We were not able to finish our chances yet again. Aubameyang hit the post twice. There were other problems as well with respect to. It was just that kind of a day. I understand why Arteta took out Aubameyang from the team, and it was because he was not able to finish the chances, and it seemed like it was not going to be his good day, and that is why I think they changed. He changed the type of tactics. Big up to Zoeb as well, Khan, and he tried to get in two physical presences in the box. That was Martinelli and Pep and Lacazette, but they couldn't do it as well. People were complaining about the fact that Martinelli doesn't get enough game time for Arsenal. He got around 30 minutes to prove his worth. He did not. He could not do much either. He came on against a tired Villarreal side, and it didn't work. It didn't click today. I think some of the regular players should have stepped up. Pepe was horrible. He was my worst player of the game, and Saka was not good enough as well. I did think that Pepe would be taken off, but he wasn't. Maybe because he was at least creating a bit with the ball. Aubameyang's only thing is that if he scores, he scores. If he doesn't score, the that's it. He doesn't score, and that is the end of his game. Then at that point of time, so I think Pepe was expected to do a bit more. There were high expectations and hopes from Pepe. Things did not work out for him because of the way that he played, and whenever there was a counter attack, Pepe was running backwards. So it is very sad, and uh, it's not good enough that they could not finish off the chances. They had enough chances to finish them off, and they could not. And so that is about that, and they could have done a lot more. But again, disappointing that we have big up Zoeb. I think this is your new channel, I guess. So and overall, not a result that we would have liked. And at the end of the day, we could have done more in the first leg, but Danny Ceballos, thanks to him, he tried to eliminate us twice already from this tournament, and third time lucky for Danny Ceballos rather, not just Villarreal. He got sent off in a way, but I don't think that was a red card still. I don't blame him for that. That was down to the official as well. But his overall play in the first leg was crap, and he could have avoided it. But then again, it didn't work out the way we wanted it. Today, there were 90 minutes. I don't think once we lost 2-1 in the first leg, the players needed to be more serious and more aggressive about it in today's game. That intent was not seen in the game today, and I think there should have been more intent from the players as well, not just not just a few of them. Everyone should have been more aggressive. uh, I could see the reason why Bellerin was played because he had the stamina to run. He had not played for quite a few games. He was running up and down the pitch. There was not much defending to do, and it was actually supposed to be a 3-4-3 with the tactic again being dismantled at the last minute because of the Granit Xhaka injury. And at the end, with all the changes and everything happening, I think we should have still scored that goal. Aubameyang had a good couple of chances and he could not finish off his chances. But I'll have that debate with Pepe about Pepe with Relentless because he was supporting Pepe. But I don't think you when you go back and look at the highlights of what Pepe was doing in that game, you would also appreciate that we need to have Pepe here. Like I don't know, he was supposed to be a good player of counter-attacking football, and he got all the chances today to show that. But every time he got the ball, he would look right, left, and then play it back. So that is what I was talking about when I said that Pepe should have done more. Saka had a bad game as well, not his best game, and eventually he was moved to left back because of that reason.
I mean, first of all, big up the Tish, yeah. But, bruv, I predicted this like maybe a year ago. Um, I predicted something silly like this would happen. So I'm not really. I'm surprised, but at the same time, I'm not really surprised. You know what I mean? So I mean, it is what it is. You know what I mean? So we're out of Europe. no final. Us against Man United. We actually could have. You never know. We could have beat United, but listen, yeah, I, I'm lost for words, man. Like I'm glad you did this show late because like I've been able to calm down. Just look at stuff. You know what I mean, bro?
No,
I don't know. I don't know what to
the
say,
thing is,
man.
this has been a problem for us right through the season. We not finishing off our chances. Aubameyang hitting the goalpost twice today as well. He could have had a couple. And apart from that, who was it? There was one more chance which hit the post. I think was it Rob Holding. Rob Holding had a couple of free headers he could have taken. He didn't finish off his chances.
Hmm.
Sorry, Bellerin had a decent shot that he took. He couldn't even still take his chance. I don't think there was anything tactically more to do in this game. It was just that we pushed, we kept pushing, and our players didn't take off the chances. Emil Smith Rowe had a good chance where the keeper messed up. He could have still finished in, and even the substitutes came at the right time. I think Martinelli 60 minutes, 30 minutes, he had to make an impact. Everyone was saying that Martinelli is the player that should be playing each game. He came on and he got around 30 minutes to make an impact. I didn't see too much of an impact. Maybe a slight impact he was trying more because he was fresh, but I didn't see anything special from Martinelli in the game as well in the last 30 minutes that he came on. But I'm more disappointed with Saka because he could not perform. But yeah, it was his one-off game. But with respect to Pepe, he didn't do the basic things right. Like when you are a
Yeah,
winger, when you're
yeah,
supposed to be pushing forward, you don't play the ball every time you are supposed to counter attack. You don't play the ball backwards and stop the attack and kill it off.
but what you're saying, yeah, I hear what you're saying, but bruv, you have to look at the context of the game. Yeah, for me, you're saying counterattack this, counterattack that. That's the first problem. Yeah, why are you counterattacking at home in a game that you need to win? I'm
No,
sorry, you can't. No, 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 no,
but
no. Just one second, one second, one second. Yeah, this is the must-win game, and you're
yeah.
saying counterattack, counterattack. I know there was counterattack, but that's the first problem right there, right there. Why are you counterattacking at home? This is not rocket science. This is not a prime Real Madrid. Okay, yes, they're a very good team. They're a very well drilled team. You know what I mean? They got a very good manager. It's not rocket science though. We have the better players, and this is why I said we will lose. I said we will lose. Yeah, I tried to be comfortable. I was like, at the end of the day, you know what? Whatever happens, happens. Yeah, we lose. Bro, this manager, we're not going to go anywhere with this manager. Yeah, he can say Pepe this, Pepe that. You know, Saka this, Saka that. Oh, missing chances. Listen, if we had a better manager and a better system, those chances that you're talking about that we were missing, we would have plenty of those chances. We only have one shot on target today, Latish. Yeah, one shot on target. I understand Arteta is not on the pitch to play the game. Yeah, but when you have one shot on target and you're getting battered at home by a team that you should be beating, there's something's wrong, and that problem is Arteta. There's no structure in the team. Arteta needs to go tonight. He needs to go tonight because this can't keep on going. We can't just keep on saying, you know what, oh, trust the process. Just no, it's not funny anymore. You can't just sit here and accept this nonsense. I can't do this no more, bro. How
No,
many
the
more
first.
times, bro?
Go ahead.
How many more times, man? Go on, man.
No, I was saying the first thing, the stats of the game that you can see, the two shots on target are not the three times that we hit the post. Those don't get counted in shots on target. I'm just saying, and the best chance of the game I think was to Emil Smith Rowe as well, where the keeper had already fallen because he messed it up, and that also went wide. So that also does not get counted as shot on target. We had around 6 or 7 good chances to score. Now the thing is, if the players don't score a single goal, you will never win a game. And when you know that it was a must-win game, you need to take your chances, which has been happening with us, not just this season. It's been happening with us last season under Emery. It's been happening with us since Wenger times that the players don't take their chances, and at the end we have to struggle and we have to fight and we have to push for a goal which doesn't come, and then we get knocked out. It's not just happened here. This you feel bad that this is Emery that is beating Arteta. But look at the way that Wenger used to get knocked out of Champions League, Europa Leagues, and all those ties. Look at the way that Emery barely scraped
Yeah,
into the final. Yeah.
but if this was Emery, we'd be in the. If we had Emery, we would be in the final. If we had Wenger, we would be in the final. This was the easiest road in the past couple of years to get to a European final. This was easier than the last time we went to the final, probably. Yeah. And you
No,
remember that
but
year we got knocked out. You remember that year we got knocked out by Atletico Madrid.
Atletico
There
Madrid,
was
yeah.
there's no Atletico Madrid in this one. There's no team that dropped down from Champions League that we have to go against. No. This was our easiest way to make it to a European final, and you couldn't even beat Villarreal. You couldn't
Yeah,
even beat Villarreal.
no, I'm not
Why?
denying that. The thing is, but what tactically wrong did you see Arteta do today? And
What?
about the counter attack, I'll just say one thing. Why the counter attacks were happening was because Villarreal was sitting with behind the ball, 10 men at least behind the ball, or 9 men behind the ball. And what was happening is when they were
Yeah,
pushing
yeah.
forward,
Yeah. Give me one
immediately,
second. Give me one second. I'm gonna
yeah,
come back. Yeah.
sure. So the point that I was addressing was that when Villarreal was pushing forward, there some of their players, 3 or 4 of their players would push forward. Immediately, Leno would catch the ball and he would release it forward to create counter-attacking opportunities, and that is where the counter-attack would start. And that is where Pepe would get the ball, and he had to further see where he could go or where he could not go. He had the opportunity at that point of time to push forward, and what would he do? He would either hold the ball long enough, he would not be able to look forward for a pass, where even though Emil Smith Rowe ran across him a few times, or he would just turn around and play it back to the midfield or Thomas Partey or defensive side of things. So that is why when I was calling out Pepe today, he did not even complete I think barely a single take on in that first half. And every time when we got a chance to counter attack, he would just turn around, look back, and play it back. So people said that El Neni plays sideways passes. Granit Xhaka used to do that. All of these midfielders do that. They used to complain about it. But look what Pepe did today. And if you're not going to catch a team that is already playing 9 people behind the ball and defending by parking the bus, you're not going to score. Your chances go down. Even though we did hit the post twice with Aubameyang, we hit it once with, I think, Holding. It was 3 times we hit the post today. Emil Smith Rowe had an easy chance. We had 6 or 7 easy chances to score, but we have not taken any of those. And that is why I don't think there was anything more to be done tactically. And Chris Paul is saying that Aubameyang was taken off to be replaced by for Willian. You need to understand, he just made a return and come back to the team after malaria. He and Tierney both. You would say that even Tierney was taken off, but at the end of the day, you need to understand that these guys were not 100%. That is why even Lacazette did not start this game. Otherwise, I feel that Lacazette would have clearly started this game ahead of Aubameyang, without a doubt, for me. So yeah, you're on mute, relentless.
Yeah. What was I saying? Oh yeah, I was talking about Arteta. Yeah, bro. Listen, I said this would happen. Yeah, and I said, you know what? You can't. It's like the blind leading the blind. Yeah. We have we have some players who've never been. We have some players who've never played at a top level before. Yeah. And then you also have a manager who's never managed before. So it's like it's a recipe for this disaster. Like an hour ago, if I came on here an hour ago, I would have been cursing. But listen, this is just what it is. We're out of Europe.
Yeah.
We're probably not going to attract any decent players. What's the point? What's the point of being here, man? Jenny, what is the point? Like, and now it's to the point where, okay, you sack Arteta, and then what? What? So you're just gonna keep Arteta and just continue to get worse. That's what it is. There's no point. I say Arteta out, but really, there's no point of Arteta leave because we're just gonna sit here and get
Exactly.
worse. No, I'm not saying Arteta in for a good reason. I'm saying Arteta in because listen, who are we gonna get?
No, that is the thing. No big manager wanted to come to us when we were in the Europa League and not in the Champions League. And the
No,
fans,
I'm not
these
saying
fans,
that. I'm
yeah,
talking about the board. The board aren't gonna do anything. I'm not talking about like Arsenal. Like yes, was shit, but was still a decent sized club. Yeah, you can still attract
yeah,
a decent manager. But what I'm saying is that the board are gonna look at this. They're gonna be like, all right, cool. Let's go again next season because they don't care. They're not gonna look at the problem and say they're gonna be like, you know what, Arteta have another goal. Yeah,
yeah.
bro. These players don't want to play for Arteta, bro. I'm serious. They don't want to play for. This is
I
this
think,
is this is
yeah.
exactly what it looked like under Unai Emery. Exactly. This is
No, I
exactly what
think
it looks like.
today's performance was a good performance, barring the part where we didn't finish our chances. You
Nah,
don't get six or
nah,
seven good chances to score, but
nah.
unless you play good football. And people may say that Unai Emery parked the bus, but he didn't. His tactics didn't 100% work. The only thing is that because we did not score our chances, we are out. If we
Uh,
scored even one of those, we would have
let
been
me
through
tell
to the next round final.
yeah, let me tell you why it was so crap. Yeah, Unai Emery parked the bus, and this guy
Yeah,
battered us. How do you park the bus and batter the team at the same time? How bad can
ba-
you really be? This guy
battered us
came.
in what sense?
No, they played us off the park. They had 7 shots on target. They should have scored like at least 4 goals.
They
They
had three shots on target.
I was reading something. They had seven.
Three.
Let me check it right now.
I
Wait,
saw it. I just shared it. Three shots on target.
maybe maybe it's attempts. Maybe it was attempts,
Attempts
but
were
still,
more.
they
Attempts were
played
eight. Yeah.
they played better than us. How many times? Just cutting through us. Where's the structure of the team? Where and the thing is that you have Partey running
Yeah.
all around the place, doing the dirty work by himself, hanging him out to dry. And then people see, Partey this, Partey that. Watch the game. Partey's trying to do everything. He's trying to pass the ball from deep. He's trying to tackle. He's getting yellow cards. He's doing this.
Yeah.
Who's there to help him? We
No, I'm
can't.
not complaining about Partey.
It's not like
He,
we
he
can't. It's not like we
yeah,
can't keep the ball. We can't
he
even
fought.
keep the ball. We
He
can't
fought
even keep
today.
the ball.
Partey
It's
was
really
fighting today. Sorry,
it's
go ahead.
really real. It's really real. We can't even keep the ball. If you find it hard, just keep the ball. Even if you're just playing it around the back, just keep the ball. Try to find some spaces. We can't even do that. It's like every time we lost the ball, it's 2-on-1, 3-on-1. It's like what's going on? Why every time they pass the ball, they clean throw a goal? What's going on? Where is the structure of the team, bro? Unai Emery, they did not do anything spectacular today. Both of the legs, they didn't do anything spectacular. Nothing. We only scored one penalty against Villarreal. Come on, Nitish. You cannot sit here and say, "Oh, this plays this." No, it's the manager. It's the manager.
See, the first half of the first leg, we were outplayed. No doubt about it. We did not play well. Danny Ceballos red card again. I said it at the start of the stream. It was not a red, but still we had to go on. And we ended the game because Emery also made a change, defensive change. So we ended the game there where we got that penalty goal. And with 10 men, we ended at a 2-1. Now that leg was done because we had lost a player, which was, according to me, a wrong decision. But overall, we had managed to get a 2-1 out of it on an away fixture where we got the away goal. Everything was supposed to happen in this home leg. Now, the thing with respect to the home leg, you are saying that Villarreal outplayed us. They did not. They did not do anything. They were just sitting back and we got our chances. If it was a better team than Villarreal, probably we wouldn't be getting those chances. I'm not denying it. But Villarreal just sat back. We got 6 or 7 chances to score. Our players have not scored the chances. Aubameyang hitting the post twice. Again, I'll repeat it if I have to. Those you cannot waste 6 or 7 chances in a good game where you need to at least score and win the game if you want to go through. If it was the other way around where we did not have to score a goal and we would have gone through, this game would have been perfect for us. But because we had to score a goal only to go through, we needed this goal at this point of time, and none of our players have stepped up and scored the goal. I was hoping that at least Smith Rowe or someone else would step up to an extent. Saka was disappointing. Pepe was pathetic. Uh, Smith Rowe was not good in the first half. Odegaard was also not that great. Thomas Partey, I
Yeah,
think, had a good game. He
they
would be
were,
one of my top players today. And
they,
Pablo
they
Mari.
were,
Yeah.
yes, that's all good and all. Yeah, saying the players didn't show up. Yeah, that's cool. But I'm not Emery. What is Arteta's job then? What is his job then? He's a manager. He's supposed to manage. He's supposed to manage. I'm looking at Arteta, yeah. I'm like, what are you gonna do to change something? Are you gonna bring on a player? Are you gonna change the formation? The football didn't change at all.
He
It didn't
brought
change
in.
at all. No, it didn't change. I was watching the game. It didn't change. It was just, oh yeah, pass the ball around, pass the ball around. Oh shit, we lost the ball. Oh yeah, they cleaned through a goal. Oh my gosh, they almost scored. We did that for like the whole second half. pass the ball around. Oh my gosh, we lost the ball. Oh yeah, the clean throw goal.
No, that didn't
What-
happen. They never had clear chances. Look at the kind of saves that Leno made. He just caught the ball, he picked it up and threw it forward for counter attacks. You see, this was not a bad tactic with respect to this. The tactic was absolutely right because when you're parking
No,
the
it
bus, you need
wasn't.
to draw out players.
The tactic wasn't right because we drew the game and we're out of Europe. It didn't, so it didn't work. You can't say
That
a
does not
tactic
mean the
worked.
tactic is wrong.
No, no, it did not work. No, tactics. No, no. If I
Oh,
do a math problem, yeah, if I do a math
yeah.
problem and I say, oh yeah, I had the right thought process, but it came out wrong. It wasn't the right thought process because it was wrong. You can't go to work. You can't go to work and underperform for a year and then say, oh yeah, oh but the computers are slow. Oh, or no, they'll fire you. You can't do that. The problem
No,
is Arteta, because if we had another manager, I keep on saying, I'm saying this for so long. If we had another manager, we would be in the final. I don't understand
you
why this,
you just said at the start that Arteta cannot be on the pitch for these players. They got 6 or 7 chances to score, and they did not take any of these chances.
yeah, but he did not
Aubameyang got
change
twice.
anything.
Yeah.
What did he
You know what
change
it
anything?
is?
He didn't change anything. You're
Whoa,
bringing
you know
on
what it is?
Willian, who scored 0 goals.
You know what
Willian
it
can't
is?
even score in a brothel,
He
bro.
wasn't brought on to score goals.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. You know
Then
what
what
it
was he
is?
going to do? To take back a corner?
Because
That's what he did.
no, because two things. Because he brought on Lacazette and Martinelli at that point of time, who are target men. Willian was brought on to feed more crosses into the box so that either one of those could compete and fight for it. There was a change of tactic. That is what I was trying to tell you. Around 60th minute, he brought on Martinelli, trying to insert more energy into the game. That is when Odegaard was taken off, and Martinelli also could not make much of an impact. The only thing that
Yeah,
he brought in was more energy.
so you're saying we got unlucky, basically. And we've been unlucky the whole season.
No, but this game, if you can't score 6 or 7 chances, clear chances, it's not as if that it was an impossible shot. Three times when you hit the post, when you say Emil Smith Rowe had the best chance of the game, the keeper is down on the ground, he messes up. That's the fourth chance. Rob Holding had 2 free headers, he did not score. So I am counting 6 or 7 good chances which your players should be taking. Nothing the manager can do about these chances when you get 6 or 7 good chances and you're not taking them. If we did not create 6 or 7 good chances and then we are losing, then you blame the manager that he's tactically shit because he's not been able to counter the tactics and create any kind of chances. But when your players have 6 or 7 decent chances, not even decent, some of them were very easy chances. Aubameyang hit the post twice. I think one of those should have gone in at least. The Emil Smith Rowe shot was horrendous. That should have been on target all day long. And if you see the Rob Holding header, at least I think the second header, he had a free header. He's not even hit the target. So there were 6 or 7 chances, out of which we have not even hit the target on at least 5 of them. A manager cannot do anything about this. And why you are saying about the counter attack thing, I'll say it again. When some manager, the Unai Emery parked 7 or 8 players at least in front of the ball and tried to park the bus. Arteta has to wait for these players to be drawn out. Then Leno used to play a quick ball, which was the tactic, and Pepe had the chance to counter. But every time Pepe would move forward, he would not take on a player or invite a foul. He would just turn back around and play it back. He played at least 4 or 5 of those, and the one time he played Bellerin through, Aubameyang nearly scored on that chance when Bellerin put the cross into the box. So
Okay,
that
so
is how it was.
okay. So I'm hearing plays. So are the plays the reason why we're in 10th? Is it because of plays?
I'm talking about the game today. Are you
Yeah, no,
watching the game today?
but this game falls under the whole season. It falls under the umbrella of the whole season. So do you think the whole season it's just only the players?
No,
It's
we have
mostly the
had
players.
problems. We have had main problems. Our major problems
The,
have been in the final third,
the,
and where we have not been able to convert our chances.
the,
Whether it was the Tottenham game that we ended up losing, there were a few games where we got
yeah,
good chances. We never converted and finished them.
yeah,
Whether
but
it was Lacazette was a problem.
in
Good.
I know you touch it in yet, but in a ideal world where you can have anything you want, in an ideal world, would you keep Arteta as a manager in an ideal world?
I again say that he needs more players, and the
No,
reason the board has brought him.
no. You have to understand.
Yeah.
In a ideal world where you can have anything you want for your football club, would you keep Arteta as your manager in an ideal world?
In an ideal world, I first want to see what players we are getting. If you are
No, no,
getting
it's not
good
about the
players,
players. I'm talking about the manager. If you had the opportunity to get a manager, would you stay with Arteta? That's the.
which manager? That is what I'm asking you. If
I'm not. I'm
because the
not.
thing
No,
is,
that's a, any manager. If you had the opportunity to upgrade on a manager in an ideal world, who what would you get rid of Arteta, or would you just keep Arteta and hope
if we
that
had if
maybe and
yeah.
hope maybe he all of a sudden turn into a decent manager? Would you do that?
See, if we had the likes of maybe Pep waiting or Klopp waiting or some of these guys waiting, I would have gone for them, obviously. But we know that this Arsenal is nowhere in any ideal situation, so that is the problem.
It's a,
People are
but can
fans.
we at least
Yeah,
agree on that Arteta has his faults and Arteta is not the guy to take us
I
to
said
football?
it.
We can
I
at least
said
agree
no.
on.
See, I'm saying it again. Arsenal cannot win the league for the next 10 years. So whether it yes, if you want a European finish, I can understand why you're frustrated that we are not going to even finish in the Europa League spot, which is where we would have probably finished if Emery finished that season. So the thing is, I can understand your focus about the Europa League spot. But apart from that, you need to also remember when Klopp took charge in his first half season, he
No,
also
no,
finished in
no.
eighth place.
You
Hold on,
can't. You
I'm
can't.
not
You
talking
can't
about
do
that.
that.
I'm just let me finish the point. I am saying that worked. That was beneficial for Liverpool, who didn't have to bother about European football and could then focus on the league. So that is what I'm saying. If we are getting in good players at the end of this summer, that is the summer transfer window at the end of this season, and we
Yep.
have one season only to focus on the league, that can actually do well for us, and we can actually compete for a top four finish.
Yeah, but Nitish, what have I been saying over the past couple of weeks?
Yeah,
I've been saying that this guy cannot take you anywhere in the league. Why can he not take you in anywhere in the league? You ask. Okay, let me
yeah,
tell you. Because he in a league you play 38 games. You cannot this guy cannot be consistent for even 8 games. What makes you
yeah.
think they're gonna be consistent enough to make it into European place in the league with this manager? If you can't even do it, you can't even do it against the simple teams. What
See,
makes
that
you
is
think
where
he
I'm
can do it?
saying. That is
He's a
where I'm
cup
saying.
manager.
If the players come in and he can't do it, then we know that he can't do it, and we will
Yeah,
replace him because anyways.
we already know that he can't do it because he's not showing any signs that he can do it. That's what I've been saying. There's no signs. Where is the room for improvement? We've been in the same place for the past year. We've been worse. Ever since Emery left, ever since matter of fact, not even ever since Emery left, ever since Wenger left, we've been worse. Worse. And we have better players than we had then. And we're worse. How is that even possible? How do you
That
get
is the
Thomas Partey? How do you get Thomas Partey, the midfielder we've been needing for the past decade, and you get worse? What's going on? I've never seen something like this before. Out of Europe, Arsenal Football Club, not in Europe. For 26 years, we've been in Europe. Why? You can't just say, oh well, we missed this chance. Oh yeah, it deflected off this guy. Oh yeah, uh, it was raining too hard this day. No, it's the manager. Simple stuff. He's not doing it.
no.
Tactical stuff. He can't do.
You need to also
He doesn't
understand
have
one
any
thing. Good.
strengths. I look at Teta. Honest
Yeah,
evaluation of Teta. I'm looking at this
yeah.
guy. Honest evaluation as a manager. No man management. Tactically all over the place. Football is poor, inconsistent. Not a good motivator. Press conferences, chats absolute rubbish in his press conferences. All about PR. Doesn't even wear the club apparel. Doesn't even wear the club clothes colors. Yeah, pulls up with his own Gucci stuff, bro. What does he actually do as the manager? I'm
How does
actually looking at it.
how, wait? How
Yeah,
does
I
it
know.
matter what he's wearing now?
I'm just saying that for banter. But listen,
Yeah.
what does he actually bring? Like I said, no man management, poor football. At least have one of those. At least Mourinho. At least Mourinho had a way to play football. Either we're playing defensive, we're playing attacking. Where it's like, what are we trying to do? At least Mourinho had the game plan at one point. He didn't have the man management. At least Ole Gunnar Solskjaer doesn't have the game plan, but he has the man management. He can motivate the team. Players want
Oh,
to
for
play
God's
for him. Actually
sake.
want to play
No,
for
I'm
him.
sorry. Hang
Yeah.
on, hold the phone.
At
Hold the
least he can
phone.
actually. What strengths does this manager have? I'm asking an honest
Relentless.
question. I don't see a strength.
Let me
Go on,
let me
Steve.
tell you.
Hold,
Oh yeah, Stephen was
hold.
saying something. Okay.
Right. I don't care what you can make up about the second leg. Right? The damage was done in the first. Right? He decided, I'm going to be Pep Guardiola and play a fucking false nine when we never fucking did it in our lives. Right? It's his fucking fault. There is no justification for what has happened. He are ninth in the league We're not even in fucking Europe next season because of this cunt. Right? I'm fucking done with him. I told you lot he's better than Emery. I told you Emery would do this. And full respect to Emery, he didn't shove it in our face. He could have rubbed it in our faces. Say, look at you, fuck you. Right? That's for treating me like shit. But no, he was dignified. Big
But
up
man
to
wasn't,
him.
bro. They were
I'm sorry.
celebrating.
No.
They were
Wasn't let this. I
celebrating. He
ain't finished
wasn't
yet.
even on
I
the
ain't
pitch.
finished
He
yet.
went to the
Wasn't let
locker
this.
room.
I ain't
Bro.
finished yet. I ain't finished yet. I ain't finished yet. Right? But this manager, if he is not gone by the morning, right, I'm gonna drive to the fucking Emirates myself and protest.
Bro, he
Right?
has to go, bro.
This,
He has
this,
to.
this is sick.
Unacceptable.
We are not in Europe for 26 fucking years. I've been alive for 26 years. I've never always seen Arsenal in Europe. We're not in
If
Europe.
and if not for
It's
Arteta,
not good enough.
we would have not been in Europe last season also.
No,
If that
it's
FA
not good
Cup
enough.
win,
Man,
No,
please.
if not for that
no,
FA Cup win,
no. Stop looking at the past. Past
I
is
could have
done.
won that, bro.
Sorry. Get rid of it.
what?
Don't care. It's
What
not
do you
good
mean?
enough.
Stop looking at the past. If not for him, we
It's
would have
not
not
good
been in
enough.
Europe last season.
It's not good enough.
So,
He's
I'm
done.
talking about
He's
last season.
finished.
okay,
He's
okay, okay,
finished.
okay,
He's got to
Nitish.
fix
In
the
that
squad
case,
and he can't do it.
Nitish. In that case, then we should bring what's his name? You should bring Emmanuel Petit and put him in the team. Let's bring Emmanuel Petit since he was a great player in the past. Let's bring him back
You
and
could
let's see
stick
what he
Tom,
can do
Dick, and
now.
Harry in there. He's still better
I'm
job.
talking about last season when Emery was here.
No,
We were at
no,
we
no.
were 8th when he got sacked, but there were games left, and we would have been 14th if
What?
he wasn't sacked at that point of time. He came from 14th or 13th, and he was eventually 8th. And there were other teams who had games in hand. Hold on. And when Arteta came in, he also lost a few games, but then he changed the tactics. And if not for that FA Cup win, we would have not been in Europe this season. Look at the table
Hang on.
finish where we finished.
And what has that done for us? What
Yeah.
has that done for us this season? What has it
Yeah.
done?
What's that done for us?
No, but
And by
I'm
the
saying
way,
that you're
can I
complaining about
just
that we
make
are
a
not.
point here?
Hold on. You're
no.
complaining
Can
that
I
we are
make a
not in
point?
Europe for the first time in 26 years. We would have not been in Europe this year.
But we're not in
Exactly.
Europe.
Go on, go on.
We're not in Europe.
We would have not been
When
in
are you
Europe
gonna
this
wake
year.
up? Wake the fuck up. Are you
No, you
gonna
need
wait
to.
until this club's relegated? Are you literally gonna wait? Are
You
you?
need to understand. You need to
No, you
understand
need
one
to
thing.
understand.
We were
It's
already on
done.
our downfall last season. Last
It's
season when you were
done.
sleeping,
Right,
when
this
we were
fan.
on our
Do you know
downfall.
what? Do you know what's honestly? This fan base is gonna lead this club into the gutter. I'm telling
Yeah,
you now.
okay, that's okay.
No,
We'll
we're
leave.
in the
We
gutter.
lead
We're
our
not
club
even in
wherever
Europe.
we want to. We lead our club wherever we want to. Two
Yeah,
few
out
weeks
of Europe.
ago, when the
Oh,
ESL was coming,
I'm glad you.
when the ESL
I'm
was
glad you want
coming,
to do that. I'm glad
no,
you want to do
when
that.
we were when 2 weeks ago when the ESL was coming and the whole thing was coming, you were about to leave the club. At least we lead them wherever we want to. But the fact of the matter is that one thing last season, again I'm saying it, if not for that FA Cup win, we would have not been in Europe this year. And the credit for that goes to
Good.
Emery as well.
Good. Brilliant.
So
Nitish,
yeah,
yeah. Listen, I know you like to keep faith in Arteta, and
Yeah.
why you do that, I'll never understand. But listen, it's your opinion. But one thing I want to understand, yeah, is that I ask you this a lot. Yeah, what do you see in this manager that maybe I'm not seeing? Maybe me, Steven, and some of the other people in the fan base are not seeing. What do you see to say, you know what? Yeah, give him another season because I've looked over this whole season. Where's the positive sign? The only positive sign this whole season is maybe Bukayo Saka, and that's pretty much it. And even he's been crap for the past month. So what have you seen from this manager, Mikel Arteta? What have you seen from this manager to say, you know what, he's going to take us to where we need to be? Yeah, I just want to know that because I'm not seeing anything right now.
see some of the things that have happened like across the season. One thing I said it last season again. It was eventually he used the 3-4-3 to survive and finish off the season. This season he started off with the 3-4-3, but he was never going to play it. And eventually he changed his tactics, bringing in some of the players. Now people are saying that Thomas Partey, he
Got
has
worse.
spoiled Thomas Partey. How many games, league games, has Thomas Partey even played back to back? He's not played more than 4 or 5 without getting injured. When he came into Arsenal, also he was
Because he
injured.
was never
So
fit.
yes, he was never fit. I agree with you on that.
Yeah. Who
But the
played
thing
him
is,
then?
no, not in that sense. When he was fit, he came on, he played a few games because our team is so weak that he needs to do so much like he did today. Thomas Partey had such a
Oh,
tough time today. He played well, I feel. I don't know what you guys think about Thomas Partey's performance today. You think
He
he
gets
played?
hung out to dry every game.
He
Hung
gets
out
hung out.
Exactly.
together
He's
every
like,
game.
look, this guy's
Every game.
done. He's finished. I've got to go anyway because I've got to go to sleep.
One man the
But
field, bro.
this guy's
Man, big
done.
up.
Like, this
We'll
guy's
have this
done. I want him
discussion
sacked. I
further,
want to see
Steve.
him gone. No, I want
We'll
him
have
gone in
this.
the morning. No,
Yeah,
he's
we'll
gone in
have
the
this
morning, mate.
discussion, Steven, on your channel when you do the review of the game.
Yeah, we got European journey in the morning, so
Oh yeah,
then we've
then
got the
we can
match
do it
reaction.
then. We
At the
can do
end
it
of the
then.
season,
Uh,
he needs to go. At the end of the season, I've been
no,
saying
he
that.
needs to go now. No, he needs to go now.
They're not gonna
Now.
sack him now.
They're not gonna sack him now.
End of the
Okay.
season, he needs to walk. Quick, bro. Quick,
But
because
but I need to see
I
which.
can't accept this no
Sorry.
more. It's getting ridiculous. It's getting ridiculous at this point. How far do you want to go? How far? For all the people that are saying that to the end, how far
Yeah.
do we need to fall? I want to know how far do we need to fall till it gets to a point to say, you know what? Okay, this is not the club I fell in love with. How far do we need to be relegated? Do we need to be? Do we need to lose millions upon millions like we've been doing over the past year? Do we need to do people like Obama and all our top players need to leave? Do we need to like not buy any players for the whole summer? Do we, like what needs to happen? Do we need to lose our whole stadium? Like what do we have to do for people to realize? Oh shoot, this manager's not good enough.
See,
What's taking
I
so long for people to realize it?
the problem right now with the Arteta out brigade is that when George Graham left Arsenal and Wenger came in, like a year later, we got immediate results because the team was so good that George Graham had created that it immediately started producing results for Wenger, and also Wenger brought in a very positive style of play. Now, with respect to Arteta again, when Wenger left, they got an Emery. He had some of the remnants, good remnants, positive remnants of Arsene Wenger's era, which was like Laurent Koscielny. He was a good leader, even though he wasn't the best defender. He was a good defender and a good leader. He had Aaron Ramsey, who is a must, a need right now, which we don't have because we don't have goals from midfield. I think Gunnar Express had shared a stat that we had 2 goals from midfield before the last game, where we scored, I think, another goal from midfield. So 3 goals from midfield this season. We don't have enough goal scoring midfielders. That was also taken away because and that is one of the reasons why I said Ramsey going is one of the main reasons why Emery struggled in his second season. That was last season. And the point I was trying to make with respect to Steven is, if not for Arteta's FA Cup win, we would have been out of Europe last season. No matter who would have taken over, we would have been out of Europe last season itself. Because as I said, when Emery was 14th, then he came to 8th, but the other teams had a few games in hand, and eventually Arteta lost a few games as well, which I feel Emery would have lost as well, like to the likes of Mourinho and co. And we would have finished outside Europe if not for the FA Cup win. It would have happened last year. So people saying that after 26 years we're not in Europe this year, that is actually the thing. The problem is that Arteta saved us from not being in Europe last season, but this season he has not been able to do it. I agree with that. But the other problem is, how has the squad been improved? We got in Thomas Partey, who's been injured for most of the season, of the league season
You
at
know,
least.
you can't talk about the squad because the squad has improved. You can't say that.
This
You
season,
have to talk about the squad has improved. It's improved. If
how the
this
best
is
signing is Thomas Partey. He's been injured for most of the season. He cannot play more than 3 or 4 league games
look at the
consecutively.
options we have.
Yeah.
Look at the
Look at the
options we have. The options we have, man. I keep on saying we have a decent team. This team is good enough to at least finish top 6 and be in the European final. It is,
who's as good as Thomas Partey in the team in the midfield.
huh?
Who is as good as Thomas Partey in the midfield?
Guess what? You have Thomas Partey. What you need to do is put him next to Granit Xhaka. If you put him next to Granit Xhaka, okay, yes, it's
Yeah,
not great, but at least
yeah.
with that double pivot, at least you should be able to qualify for Europa League. Simple Europa League. You can't even qualify for that. Really?
So
Look at the
no, but
team we have.
how
Leno,
many games has he been there?
huh?
I'm saying how many games has he been fit for? That is the problem.
Bro, bro, how many? He's played enough games to get us into the top 6. He's played enough games. He's played how many games he's played this season? Maybe what at most, maybe 10, 15. That's at least 10, 15. That's enough games to impact the team's position. Enough. And what he's doing, let me tell you something about Arteta, yeah? Simple selection decisions. He doesn't do it. Our best right back is Cedric. Why is he on the bench? Why is he not playing? Martinelli should be playing more this season. Why is he not playing? Aubameyang was trash. He still gets played. Who else? Xhaka was trash at some parts of the season. Still gets played. Dropping, changing the center. Another thing, changing the center back pairings every single game. Keep it the same. I forgot. How can I forget about that? He changes the center back pairing every single game. It's not rocket science. Stop. Keep it simple. Keep it simple. You're already not good enough as it is. Just keep it simple. Why does he keep on trying to do this, do this? If you're going to change stuff, how about you change the formation? How about you change where the players are playing? How about you change the right back? How about you change how about you get a backup left back? How about you get it's stuff like that he doesn't do. And even if we don't have the place to do it, find a way because you're getting paid 5, 6 million a year. Find a way. If you can't find a way, then leave the club because then we can get a better manager. It's very simple, bro. Why can't he do this stuff that all the other managers? He's not the only manager who doesn't have his squad. He actually does have a squad, in my opinion. He's not the only manager who's going through stuff. Tuchel went through stuff when he came in. Didn't have his players. Now look at them. Uh, Pep didn't. Pep went through some stuff actually. Even though he has good players, he went through some stuff. Klopp has gone through some stuff. Ollie has gone through some stuff. They all go through stuff. That's the job of being a manager. You can't just say, "Oh well, my players missed a wide open chance." My players did this. Your players aren't going to miss a wide open chance for 38 games in the season. Sometimes they're going to score. You have to put them in position to score. So you have to play good football. If you're not going to play good football, be good on counter attack. Play the players that can, because the players we have at our disposal are good enough to make it to a Europa League final. But guess what? It's the manager because he doesn't know what he's doing.
Hold on.
No,
You
no, no,
said
no.
today. You said today put players into positions where they will score. Those 6 and 7 chances exactly showed that. You said play counter-attacking football when needed. Pepe was at the forefront of every counter-attacking move because Leno would play the ball either to directly to him or to Partey, who would play to Pepe. So he has done exactly what you have just asked him to do with respect to that. The third thing you said about the centre-back pairing, Holding and Pablo Mari have been playing the Europa League games for the last 3 to 4 matches at least. So he's been playing David Luiz and Gabriel in the league, or when one of these guys are injured, like David Luiz was injured, that is when Holding has been playing in the league as well. So that was also fixed. The next thing is Bellerin was actually supposed to play as a wing back today. His original formation was supposed to be a 3-4-3 against the pragmatic style of Unai Emery, but unfortunately, Granit Xhaka goes into training, gets injured, which is the usual thing, and the manager has then to change his tactics at the last minute, where with half the fan base not even knowing that Karen Tierney is in for Granit Xhaka. And despite that, when your players are getting around 6 or 7 good chances to score, they're in the best of positions.
I thought we already talked about this, man.
You just mentioned that a manager's role is to put the players in the best goal scoring positions. They were in the best goal scoring positions today. I'm more focused on the today's game. We can have a discussion on the entire season. That is not a problem. But right now, I am talking about today's game. They were in the best of positions. Aubameyang hitting the post twice. I won't repeat the chances that we got, but 6 or 7 good chances that we got, they should have at least put one or two in, if not more.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, say that again. You talking about the chances? Yeah.
Yeah, I was saying that today we were in good positions to take our chances and finish them off, but we haven't. And Aubameyang was mainly unlucky, and one more shot that hit the post. Aubameyang hit the post twice, and he should have probably finished off one of those, or and the other players should have scored as well. So we should have had at least 2 or 3 goals, because even though Emery did set up by parking the bus, his team wasn't good enough, and they were not able to defend all our chances, including the goalkeeper who's trash. We should have scored goals, but we did not.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. But what my problem is with Arteta
Yeah,
is that the team that we're going up against, like I said, they are a very good team. But
yeah.
it's like, why are they? There was one point where I was looking at it, and they were having most of the chances, even though we had more shots. They were having. I feel like at one point they were just having chances for fun. I'm like, what's going on? This
Uh,
manager.
Yeah,
in-game
good.
management is so bad. It's like I'm watching it. Maybe I don't know. Maybe from his point of view, he's not able to see the full pitch. Maybe that's what it is. I'm giving the benefit of the doubt. Maybe he's not able to see what I'm seeing on the screen. But I can see that there's a shift in power.
I am. Yeah, go ahead. Shift in
I
bar.
don't know how you still out to the end, but I can see there's a shift. Now the chances are falling to them. Now they're getting the good chances. If I'm not Teta, I'm like, oh shit, I need to change something. What's going on? Let me bring on a defensive play. Let me tell Party to move here. Let me do. It's like it can't. The same thing kept on happening and happening and happening. And the thing that pisses me off so much is that it's not like they did anything spectacular, bro. All they
No, they
did,
did not.
they
Yeah.
didn't do anything spectacular, and we still couldn't
No, they
crack
didn't.
the code. We still can't crack the code. Okay, so what's gonna happen when we go against better teams? What's gonna happen? Are you gonna lose 8-0? What are you gonna do
No,
then?
see, that is the thing. When any team is parking the bus, you need to. They did not have clear chances. First of all, they only had simple catches to Leno. That is all they did. Not one single chance. And I can understand because one of their main players was also injured. So he got injured, and after that, eventually their attacks slowed down a bit, and their counter attacks were slowed down, and they did not try to score the goal. They just tried to defend. That was Chukwueze was injured. So, but the thing is, the main thing is it you need to draw players out. That is how the tactic is. When some team is parking the bus around 8 or 9 players behind the ball, you need to draw them out into your box and then quickly counter attack, which is where I'm saying Leno would catch the ball, he would throw it forward quickly. Today Leno's distribution, just look at the difference in his level of distribution in the previous games and today's distribution. He was actually very quick most of the times, trying to create a counter attack, but then the counter attack further has to happen from our players. We were not, you can say, around 2 or 3 players were always up front. One was Emil Smith Rowe along with Pepe. The other one was to an extent Odegaard. Pepe himself three. These guys were there just to create that quick counter attack and try to create and score a goal. But unfortunately, as I keep pointing out, that Pepe did not play seriously for us today because any one of those counter attacks could have resulted into more. Out of 4 or 5 counter attacks, he created one good counter attacking chance where he fed the ball. Where he fed the ball to Bellerin, who created a goal scoring opportunity with Aubameyang hitting the post again. So that was the best chance of the game for me, and that was actually how Arsenal should have been playing today. But unfortunately, even though Leno was doing his bit today, I have no complaints against Leno. He was picking the ball, he was catching the ball, he was just throwing it forward. He was saying, "Go run, go create a chance." But every time Pepe would look left, right, center, he would play it back for some reason, and the counter-attacking move would be slowed down. They would have all 8 men behind the ball again. So that is why the thing is, I am saying today again to you, yes, I feel that Pepe could have been taken off. But then the problem is Pepe was not having a bad game. Saka was having a worse game, so he was moved to left back. Aubameyang, who was not able to hit the target, was taken off. And the reason again he was taken off was because Willian was brought in to put crosses into the box where Martinelli and Lacazette were lining up to target men to try and get a goal in the air, like a headed goal or a chance from long crosses, because they had tried for around 60 odd minutes to score goals based on grounded play. They tried grounded play, they tried aerial crosses. Aerial crosses were even worse than what the grounded play was. The grounded play at least created some open chances for us to score. We have not taken our chances, and this has not been the problem of just this game. It's been happening at least 6 or 7 times. It's happened in the league as well. And I am not saying that Arteta is, you can say, away from the entire blame, but then these players had enough chances to score at least one. If it was like a task of scoring 3 or 4 goals, I would say we had lost the game in the first leg. They needed to score one goal, one damn goal. They didn't even score a single goal when they got 6 or 7 good chances, and not half chances, clear chances.
The whole game. It was a weird game. Like it's like the guy said in the chat. It's a weird game. You need to win. You need to score goals. Half an hour goes by, no goals. Full time. Halftime comes, no goals. It's like if you're looking at this game, you're like, this is like the whole season is wrapped up to one goal. This is coming up short. Whole season coming
Yeah,
up short. Coming up short. Coming up short. Coming up short. It's like, and it's teams. We're losing to teams that we should be beating. And it's like the reason why we're not beating them is because of the manager. And that's what I honestly think. Yes, some of the players are hit and miss. We all know that. We've known this for years. But I refuse to sit here and believe that if you give this team to another manager, like maybe Carlo, maybe some other man, if it's any decent manager, they won't
Yeah.
do better with the squad. And what I'm saying is that you're giving a team like this, you're giving it to a manager who's never managed a football club ever in his life. In his life, young manager, they probably don't even respect him because they probably don't even know who the hell he is. Let's be real. So that's already a problem. They don't know who he is
No,
unless
any
yeah.
professional player would know who Arteta is.
Who Aneni? What's Aneni gonna do, bro? And then he's not gonna be like, oh yeah, guys, let's respect Arteta, even though you guys never heard of him, and he's like probably like a couple years older than you guys. Don't worry. Let's when he says something, let's listen to him, bro. Bro,
No,
already the
what I'm
players,
good.
already the players are already looking at this guy like, yo, who's this guy, bro? You know what I mean, bro? You can't just give it to a manager and just say, you know what, do whatever. That's what they're doing with this club. They're taking a club and they're like, you know what, hopefully try this and hopefully it works. There's no plan. There's no direction. There's no level of football. The people who upstairs who are running stuff don't have a clue what's going on. Kalateta doesn't have a clue what's going on. Edu doesn't have a clue what's going on. The I bet Stan Kroenke doesn't even know we lost today. The whole club. Yes, Arteta's the problem, but there's a bigger problem as well. But the first way to fix the problem is to get the manager out, get the get new board members, or if not, if the Cronkies can't do that, then they need to leave as well. They need to leave as well because it's also their fault for setting the bar so low that we're sitting here accepting this nonsense. That's what it is. Chelsea would never accept something like this. Never. It don't matter what happened this season. If you're Chelsea and you get knocked out of the Europa League semi-final, you're getting sacked. Why are you getting sacked? Because that club wants to win. This club is just okay. You say this club. All this club cares about is shirt sales. The international fans, the young fans. They're trying to brainwash them into thinking that Mikel Arteta is the greatest young manager of all time.
Man,
They're doing all this. No. You have to pay attention to the PR. They have a Southampton fan running the Twitter account. So when we lose, he's coming up with absolute PR nonsense. He doesn't care about the club. Oh, they're coming up with dumb interviews, saying this, getting back. They're paying some of the Teta's friends. They're paying some of the ex players to come out and suck off Teta. I refuse to believe that some of these ex players actually look at Teta and rate him as a manager. I refuse to believe that. I refuse to. They probably sit in one room and say, "Yo, look at this guy, bro. We don't know what he's doing." If you know, if these old guys here, they've been around football for a long time. But there's no way they're looking at this manager and saying, you know what, yeah, 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 this guy's the one. No way, no way. They're getting
but I
paid.
think,
People like
but
Ian
yeah,
Wright getting paid
yeah.
on the payroll. He's flying out everywhere. He's
No, he's
flying to
saying
Singapore. He's
he's
flying
already
out.
said Kroenke out. He's already said Kroenke out. He's not bothered about it. But the thing is, one thing I'll just say, one thing I'll add. I don't think any pundit or any former player today will blame Arteta for the loss, like the exit, because if you are getting outclassed, out tactic, or your tactics are not good enough to compete against Emery, if you don't create chances, you get outplayed, then it is understandable that today's loss would be put on him. If he did not make his substitutes early, like around the 60th minute when he got on Martinelli, fans would have said, this guy does not know what he's doing because he did not even bring on Martinelli when he was needed, or he did not make the changes when they were needed. But because today we have created chances, we have played the way that we did. Villarreal did not have a decent shot on target. We could not score, and we lost and we went out. But so I don't think any football pundit or any former Arsenal player would say that today is Arteta's mistake. But because of the frustration that has been built right from the start of the season, to for some of them, they are today Arteta out as well. because obviously the result did not go in our favor. But based on today's
But Arteta's
performance,
done it himself, though. He's done it himself.
yeah, I
It's
understand what
his
you're
own
saying.
doing. It's his own doing.
I'm only
If
trying to
you're a
say,
manager,
go ahead,
you
go
should
ahead.
come out the media and just say, you know what, we're gonna, I'm trying. You know what I mean? Don't come out and say, oh yeah, we're gonna do this. Oh yeah, a couple years from now we're gonna do this. We're gonna be a Champions League. No, just say, you know
That
what,
was his target.
we have plans and we're gonna do. We're gonna try to get there. Just that's all you have to say. You don't have to come out and try to say, oh this, that, and that. Just come out, keep it simple. Say, you know what, yeah, you've been struggling, but you know what, hopefully, eventually, we find a way. You can't just come out. He comes out. He says, "Oh yeah, what's that? What's that thing he was saying when he first came in?
No,
You're gonna
Villian came out and said that
now
Arteta told
negotiate
him
this."
that we'll be winning the Champions League or will be in, I think, competing in the Champions League in the next 3 years. I think Villian came out and said that. Arteta didn't come out and say that we are winning the Champions League in 3 years.
Yeah, he must have been high when he said that, bro. Because we're not in Europe now.
No, but
We
players
ain't
need
even in Europe.
assurances. Players need assurances as well. So that is another thing.
But it's Willian. It's not like you're signing Messi, bro.
No, I know, but obviously he wanted to get Villian on board at that point of time as well because we were not going for Coutinho and we need some squad players as well. So the thing is, see, if Arteta came out and said it himself, then that would have been a different thing. Villian came out and said it, and that is what he told Villian. So at the end of the day, he must have told that to Thomas Partey as well. We have Thomas Partey. He must have told that probably to Gabriel as well. We have Gabriel. If that
Yeah, and
helps us
Partey's
get
probably
more players,
fuming. Partey's probably fuming right now. He's fuming. No way. Because even though he hasn't been great this season, he was at least
yeah.
expected to be in Europe. If I was him, I'd be like, yo, I'm calling up Simeone. I'm like, yo, bro, is there a space for me? Real talk,
I don't think. I don't think he'll leave Arsenal. I think the only one that is reported to be leaving Arsenal is probably Leno. So let's see
yeah,
what
Leno
happens
can leave
there.
as well. Leno can
Yeah.
leave as well. It's not like we're gonna miss him. He can leave as well. Camera save merchant. Camera save merchant. I keep on saying that. Camera save merchant. It's like
Yeah.
basketball. You scoring all the 3-pointers, but when it comes to the layups, you're missing the layups. What's this guy? Camera save merchant. He makes the camera save, and then when it comes to the simple stuff, it'll go through his legs, or he miss kick it, or he do this. He can't command his box. He can't do this. Can't do that. It's the reason you don't get picked for Germany. It's players like this who continue to stay
Yeah.
here and say, oh, just because they don't come out and insult the fans. Oh, let's keep Leno. Let's keep Leno. No, Leno, you're not going to win anything with Leno. If you don't know, I'll tell you now. You're not going to win anything with Leno. Bang average goalkeeper. Real talk.
he
He can
has
leave
he
his.
has had some very good performances as well. So let's see what happens at the end of the day. But what we'll do is we have already gone on for 1 hour, and maybe we'll have these discussions tomorrow as well. Stephen will be doing the European his European review as well. So that will be another long day. So thank you,
Yeah,
Relentless, for coming on.
I got one last question. Yeah, one last
Sure,
question for you, yeah?
sure.
Because you're saying Arteta in, what do
Yeah.
you honestly think? What do you think is next for Arsenal? Because we're not in Europe. What do you think is next for the whole football club? And what do you think will happen next season?
See, the first thing is one thing it helps me being Arteta in is that I'm not that desperate to go for any random manager. Like Steven the other day was saying that I would take Maurizio Sarri just because he would be better than Arteta. But the thing is, I want a proper manager who will stay here for a long term plan. And Arteta, even though he may have not delivered this season, if he can still deliver in the upcoming season after the signings are made, I will be happy because he will be a manager that we'll have for a long-term plan. Now, with respect to the thing is, uh, there are many examples in the past as well. I'm not going to go into those, but one example is Sir Alex Ferguson, who struggled in his first 4 years. He finished second in one of the seasons with United, and the other 3 seasons he finished 12th, 11th, 13th, something like that, and he was
Yeah,
about to get sacked.
but you have to be careful when you're saying when you're comparing them to other managers because those other managers had a resume.
Yeah,
Like what's his name? Sir Alex Ferguson already accomplished stuff in football before he went there. He
he
already won
did.
in
He
Europe
did.
before he went there. So you
He
can't
did.
just compare those two. I know you're not comparing the quality wise, but you're trying to
Yeah.
talk about the circumstances. The
Yes, yes. I'm
circumstances is
talking
very.
about that.
We're talking about a manager who's never managed before. So
Yeah,
just
I,
keep
I
that.
get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. But again, I'm just saying that anything is possible in the world of football because Sir Alex could have been sacked from Manchester United and they would never have had their greatest manager of all time if that was the case. So that is the thing. that is why I'm not too quick to jump to conclusions, because we know that a lot of changes have taken place at this club in his first season, including the formation thing that I keep saying all the time, including a lot of deadwood gone from the club and more going at the end of the season. So it all depends on how the club, because he's not a coach. You need to remember, Emery was a coach. Arteta is a manager. He will have his say in the sale and buying of those players as well that will be coming in. So everything will be revolving around him, Edu, and Hinai. If they have a very good successful window, despite not being in Europe or being in the Europa Conference League, so then at the end of it, if they're able to deliver in the upcoming season, I think all this Arteta out thing, would be forgotten. And if he's not able to deliver in the first 2 to 3 months of the next season, I think that he would be sacked. So I am very much patient. I don't mind him even being there till the end of his contract, because I know even if a new manager comes in, it's not going to be a top manager, because none of the top managers will come in unless the Kroenkes are ready to spend around 150 to 200 million a season for the next 5 years, because that is what they will demand to be competing in the league. Because any top manager who wants to come to Arsenal wants to compete in the league. That is the first thing. Arteta has been brought in not to just compete in the league, but try to win cup competitions as well. I am saying both. The thing with this is, I think they didn't want Emery to be around when they were trying to rebuild the squad. They wanted Arteta to be here when they were trying to rebuild the squad and buy players. And that is why they sacked Emery when they did. And I get the feeling now they gave him 1 year, Arteta 1 year, and they knew that at the end of this first year, there would be players that would be leaving. And so once the season is over, I need to see which new players come in. If he's able to control them, if he's able to manage the dressing room, if he's able to keep them together like he has so far. If not, then I don't mind him being sacked, because you need to give the manager at least more than a season, one single season, full season. You need to give him at least more than one. This is not a game where like this cash is real cash. It's not a game of Monopoly, or it's not a game of you can say a game of cards where you can just keep throwing money around and keep sacking managers. We're not Chelsea. We don't have that kind of money to spend just on managers. We already were about to pay Unai Emery and his coaching staff around 12 odd million. That is why I don't think he'll get even sacked now. He may get sacked at the end of the season, where it makes sense to bring in a new manager. Maybe if they're thinking of sacking him, they will sack him before they sign new players, and then they will sign new players. So I am open to that. I said this last season as well. I'm open if they do that. That would be a smart move. Only if the manager that they're getting in is, one, he is going to be here long term. Two, his style is not defensive style. It needs to be attacking style. It cannot be pragmatic football, because if they are planning to actually compete for the league or even top four and win it, they need to have a manager who needs to have a progressive style, a forward-going, attack-minded style. It cannot be a pragmatic or a defense-minded style. If they go for a defense-minded coach, it becomes 10 times more difficult for a team like Arsenal, one, to defend, because we're not good at defending anything. Two, to maintain the support of the fan base with that boring kind of football, because even George Graham had a lot of haters during his time, you can say. So overall, I am disappointed that we are not in the final, but at the end of it all, the way that the players have played today, some of those players, it has been disappointing. And I don't just blame Arteta. I say that he gets part of the blame, but the players should have won that game, but they didn't. And Harvey, being a Manchester United fan, I will just say, Harvey, you should have probably gone through to the Champions League, through the Champions League group stages as well. But even your team did not show up, and most of your supporters were Ole out at that point. Some of the supporters were like, "No, it's not Ole's fault. These players are shit." It's the same thing with Arteta. It's the same thing that's happening. That was Champions League, a Leipzig team that is. Your team is way better than our team in terms of squad depth and the kind of players and the quality of players you have. We are running right now on youngsters who can become superstars in the future. But Ole or the players did not show up on that day against Leipzig. They didn't show up today also against Roma, because they were casual about it, but they went through. Now, if Unai Emery beats Manchester United, we will still have a laugh again. We could still have a laugh. And you need to remember one last thing, relentless, before we wrap it up. I was never Emery out in the first place as well. I also wanted him to finish off his second season, and I wanted to see what he does. Can he get us a Europa League title? Can he finish us somewhere in a Champions League spot? Which was tough, which was more or less impossible. I think Champions League was impossible, but he could have still finished us in the Europa League spot and possibly won the Europa League and brought us back into the Champions League. So you need to remember, I was ready to give even Emery time, because one of the things that Steven or a lot of Arteta out fans say, that we have been waiting for 15 years. How longer do you want us to wait? what Wenger has done and how Wenger has fucked up. That has nothing to do with how much time you give Emery or how much time you give Arteta. These individuals are different. Then they have no relation or correlation to Wenger. If you're saying this as an excuse that Wenger is the reason I can't give them time, then you need to understand no manager is going to produce miracles with Arsenal. We'll be staying where we are. Even if you keep ranting on Twitter that Arteta out or Emery out or whichever next manager comes in out, it's going to be the same. Anything you would like to add before we wrap it up?
Final thoughts. I think club is done out here. Club's been done out here since 2006. It's just that now, we're starting to actually see it like in our faces. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The soul of the club is dead. Our club is left at Highbury, and now Highbury is a bunch of flats now. Club is dead, out of Europe. And listen, it is what it is. We were waiting for this. I was waiting for this about our first year out of Europe. I said it would happen. Did I know it would happen this quick? Maybe not, but hopefully this wakes up certain people in the boardroom and say, you know what? There goes that extra revenue. We can't attract any players.
Yep. That could
What
work for us
happens
as well.
next season?
Yeah,
What happens next season? It's gonna be a real scary season. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna say. It's gonna be a real scary season, bro. Yeah, so get ready for no European
it could
football.
actually urge the Kroenkes to sell. And I was just going to ask you, do you think not being in Europe will help us or will it be bad for us overall?
It'll help us if we get another manager because Arteta has to be consistent for all 38 games.
Think bigger. A new owner. If it helps us get a new owner, think bigger. Not just the manager.
Stan Kroenke isn't the reason why we got kicked out of Europe today. So it wasn't the reason.
And you'll still blame Arteta that we got kicked out today. I'm saying about today because we didn't score.
Yeah, but it's not his fault though. It's not his fault that we had our second worst season in our Premier League history. So it is what it is. Yes, long term. Long term. Stan Kroenke will affect us, but Stan Kroenke didn't call up Arteta and say, you know what, lose today, or not score a goal today. He didn't call him up and say that. So at the end of the day, you can say, owners out, and yes, I do think the owners should go out, but the owners don't pick the team. You know what I mean? The owners don't continue to sit Martinelli. The owners don't continue to sit Frederick out, who's our best right back. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, our owners don't sit there and decide, oh yeah, let's just get battered. You know what I mean? Almost every game, and then our owners don't come out in press conferences and say, trust the process and whatnot. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. Arsenal Football Club. Today is the day we actually died as a football club. So it's just that simple. Today's the day we actually finished as a top 6 club. Leicester City have taken our place. It is what it is. We move on.
I hope it's something similar to what happened to Liverpool happens. I'm not saying Arteta will be the only person who can do it, but I'm hoping that something similar to what Liverpool did happens to us as well. And I hope that this loss and this exit urges the Kroenkes to spend money and look at the things and how they're going downhill for us. And they need to change, and hopefully this brings about the change. So I thank Relentless again for coming on, and Stephen as well. You can find Stephen on SP3 TV. He'll be doing the European review tomorrow. Sorry, it will be early in the day. And you can also find Relentless on the Relentless Sports Hub. I think we have had a long enough discussion, and thank you everyone. Sorry about that. Thank you everyone in the chat. I think I didn't eat it right. Anyways, sorry. Thank you everyone in the chat as well for joining in. And let's see, we'll have more discussions and debates and streams on this channel. For now, Relentless is Arteta out, Steven is Arteta out, most of you may be Arteta out, but I'm still looking at the end of this season and what happens in the window. So big up to all you guys. Thank you so much for joining in. Not a good day for Arsenal Football Club, but at the end, whatever the condition of the club, we still support the club. So come on, you guys.